Fortnite has fallen off a lot since its peak in the summer of 2018, but when did it actually fall off? Today I'll tell you when Fortnite truly fell off. I will go over Fortnite's history to see when the game started to die and decline. Fortnite Battle Royale released on September 26, 2017. In Season 1, the game saw a little bit of success at first, because OG Fortnite felt so different, so fun, so exciting, everything was so different about it. It was a blast to play with friends. You could easily lose hours of your time just from one session of playing. Building mechanic wasn't used that much at first, so it was different. It was a fun to learn skill gap. Building for a battle royale was such a simple concept, but so smart at the same time. This game was something different, it was so special. Soon after release, the game picked up a ton of traction. Streamers, YouTubers, everybody was playing Fortnite at the beginning of 2018. I bet everybody you knew was playing this game. And it's easy to see why. Back in 2018, updates for the game were happening every week, with a new gun, new skin, something happening in the game always. This made it even more addicting. New content would make sure you were never bored. Now let's talk about the skill gap in Fortnite. In early 2018, most people still couldn't build that well at all, so this gave new players a chance to beat them and win. But in late June of 2018, they introduced the game mode Playground. This to me was a very anticipated game mode. You could hop in with 4 people in a private Fortnite match and do whatever you wanted to. You could practice your builds, 1v1 people, make crazy builds, find new exploits. It gave the players so much more to do, but at the cost, players would start to get really good really fast. They could practice way easier and efficiently now. The players in regular matches could now build and aim. New players just didn't stand a chance. This made it frustrating when you want to hop on for fun and then you're fighting Jesus Christ himself. Either way, players still had fun, and the peak was also met at the summer of 2018. The game introduced live events, which were a massive deal. The L2 aim assist arguments of aim assists being too strong started to happen around this time, but all was still great. During this time, competitive Fortnite also started to grow, with the summer and fall skirmishes being huge cash tournaments. It was fun to argue over who the best player was, who your favorite player was, and argue for them, and to watch pro players in tournaments. Around this time, in the fall of 2018, the game saw a slight dip in players, but it wasn't close to dying at all. In the winter of 2018 and beginning of 2019, Season 7 was introduced. This is when I think a slight downfall happened. Epic Games, the company that makes Fortnite, started to not release its frequent updates. In release updates, the player base hated, like the Mythic Sword, the one-tapping walls deagles, a lot of bad updates. Streamers hated the changes. This became a pattern for Epic Games going forward. In 2019, the game still had a higher player base, but not as crazy as its year before. But in 2019, they held the World Cup. In the summer, this brought a ton of players back, and this was such a fun time to play and watch the game. The game felt like it reached another peak in popularity for a bit during this tournament, but all good must come to an end. In August of 2019, Season 10 released. With this was the worst time in the history of the game to play for fun or competitively. They released the mechs. This basically was a 10-foot robot that killed anything in its way. Even if you were a 4-year-old, you could kill whoever you wanted to. They couldn't beat you even if they tried. This relates back to the skill gap thing I was talking about earlier. When old players started to become unkillable to new players, it became unfun to the new players, so they wouldn't even give the game a chance, so they just quit. And they couldn't make any money off of it. And if old players couldn't keep up, they would also quit as well. So Epic Games decided, how can new players kill better players? They thought for like 7 seconds tops and decided on an invincible robot, which ruined the game. Streamers and big creators like C-Day, Fearless, and Tim the Tatman, Courage JD, and I could go on about all the people who quit or played way less during this time and forward. This also happened to the average players too. They also stopped playing. This robot didn't help anything. It didn't help new players, it hurt everybody, and made them furious. This is when I believe the game fell off truly. But this happened almost 4 years ago. The game is still huge, so what happened? Soon after Chapter 2 released, which at first brought a lot of people back, soon after it returned to normal. The game basically only lost a little players every now and then. The game has still remained decently sized in player base. It will never be like it was before, but I think it will be a long time before it actually dies.